What's going on, everybody? We are live with the Reseller Roundtable, episode number 3. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I'm super excited to be here today. Unfortunately, Scott, dumpster diver dad, can't make it today. He's not feeling up for it. He's not feeling good at all. And I know he was really excited because he finally got a microphone and headset to actually make this video / podcast official. And but anyways, I have Addicted to Hustle Alton here.
Yep.
And I also have Dr. Denham Brian.
Hey.
He's at my bottom. I don't know where you guys are, but
Yeah,
on
he's
my
on the bottom.
bottom. Everybody else, introduce yourself and let's get into it.
Go for it, Brian.
As Kevin said, this is Brian, aka Dr. Denham, coming to you from Texas.
All right. Well, that's a heck of a way to start, Brian. Well, my name's Alton, Addicted to Hustle. So you'll probably just know me more of selling on Amazon. And now we'll be talking more into the Whatnot app and selling collectibles and things like that. So let's get on with it.
All right. How do we want to open up the first subject tonight?
Well, our biggest subject tonight is what is the best platform to sell on? Is it still eBay? So I guess we can definitely start there. What do you think?
I think we should also say down the future too, because for me, my answer is definitely going to surprise all you guys with who I think is going to take this whole space over in the next few years. I'd give it 5 years. If we do a 5 years future from now, who do you think would be the winner? We'll do that after we explain who I think right now is pretty good. eBay, as usual, is always crushing it for me, but I'm noticing a lot more sales. Even with I'll usually list 20 a day on eBay, and about 5 or 6 good listings I'll put on Facebook Marketplace and Macari, and I get I've been getting between 2 to 3 extra sales between each of them per week, right. And I'm only listing probably maybe 10-15 items per week on there, but I am noticing a lot more traffic is coming on Facebook Marketplace. And it seems to be, if you list there, it's hit or miss, right? So I listed 2 expensive Rush band concert t-shirts about a week ago, right. And both of them got 0 views. But then I list some suit sport jackets and blazers and golf clubs, and they get hundreds of views. So I don't know if it's something in the listing that hits it with their algorithm, because everything on Facebook Marketplace is run by a computer. Nobody behind the scenes like eBay or Macari. It's all by computer.
Right.
eBay, I would say, is great where you can actually still call them up, but I'm sure in the future they're going to go away from that where everything's going to have to be on the computer. But as we sit now, I think hands down eBay, it's not too far ahead of everybody else, but eBay is still killing it for me.
I mean, I can see.
What about you, Brian?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I've gone back and forth on cross-listing, and I've used quite a few of the platforms: eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, 5 Miles back in the day. So yeah, those are the main ones. And last month, 2/3 of my sales came in through eBay. So to me, eBay is hands down. Well, depending on what you sell, if you're selling one-offs, unique items, I think eBay is still the best, has the biggest audience, and you can make the most money. The people that I personally know who make the most money, they're on eBay. You know, I'm in Tech and Sports in Chris's group. Tech and Sports makes $7,000 to $8,000 a day gross, and Chris is probably about half of that. And in our Facebook group, there are probably 10 or more people that their 90-day totals are over 100,000 on eBay. And I don't know anyone that's, pushing those type of numbers on anything other than Amazon. And if you're on Amazon, the profit margins, I'm sure, are not nearly as big. So for me, eBay is still king. But it depends on what you sell. Like if you sell shoes, because Poshmark's shipping is cheaper and you can ship up to 5 pounds for like $7 and change. It may not be a bad idea to do that. But then you can get into the question, maybe we can talk about this later, of cross-listing. is it worth your time to cross list? Because I actually timed it. Even using like List Perfectly, when I was cross listing from eBay to Poshmark, Mercari, and Facebook Marketplace, it took like 2 minutes for that to cross list. And then when it sold, probably another minute to take it down. So that's 3 minutes per listing. And, you know, in about 5 minutes, I can get a whole another listing up on eBay. So personally, I think it's better not to cross list, to focus, make eBay your one thing and to get more listings up. But I do sell some replenishables, some multi-quantity items. And those I do separately list on Poshmark and Facebook Marketplace, and some even on OfferUp. And that's about a third of my other sales. So I think when you're looking at platforms, you kind of have to look at what you're selling, and then figure out which one of those might benefit you. But I'm personally not a fan of cross-listing. And I did test it out. I spent like 2 or 3 weeks cross-listing, and what it came down to for me, like shoes, I was doing heavy shoes for about 3 weeks. It came out to like 80% of my sales were on eBay. Then next was Poshmark, maybe 15%, and then maybe 5% was on Facebook Marketplace, and not one shoe sold for me on Mercari. So that's just my experience.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of you on the Hold This Perfectly, absolutely love it. I don't know when the last time you used it, but now they got it where everything
month.
transfers over. How long ago?
Last month.
I mean, for me, mine's cut and dry quickly. I don't have to do anything besides just put hashtags in there. And because my titles are already made out, my description's already made out. So for me, I absolutely love List Perfectly. That, again, it gives me, I want to say 4 or 5 sales extra a week. So, I mean, especially and it's really helped me hone down what's good on Facebook Marketplace and what's good on Mercari. Golf clubs sell great all the way around. Facebook Marketplace is really surprised with sport jackets, suits, and blazers. I'm very surprised. I sell a lot. The majority of my sales are either golf clubs or sport jackets, blazers, or suits. And again, I have the pro version, so I think it's like $50 or $60 a month, and 2 of those sales in 1 week pays for it. So everything else is golden. And I know if I do cross this more, again, I'm going to have more sales. There was a time a few months ago where I was having about 9 sales a week on Facebook and about 3 or 4 sales on Mercari.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Hey, sorry to interrupt, but okay. So you say you can get more sales, and I'm not trying to be antagonistic. I'm just really curious because I've looked into this and I've gone both ways. I agree. Ultimately, you'll get more sales, but what is the cost? Like, how many listings can you get up and cross list to multiple platforms? And then if you didn't cross list, how many would you just get on one platform, say eBay?
Well, again, I always do at least 20 a day now. So anything else after that's golden. So I always do my eBay first and then everything else after. So to that, it's kind of like minute or minimal to me. But I know I can do a cross list in a matter of literally 1 or 2 minutes. And that's on Mercari and Facebook Marketplace. And it does with golf clubs, sometimes they can get stale, but I've noticed with Facebook Marketplace, if you post them to the right groups, they can go pretty fast, almost instantaneously. I've had quicker sales on average on Facebook Marketplace than on eBay. I've had listings that had over thousands of views on mainly golf clubs, but I do get more views on some of my sport jackets and blazers. It's hard with regular clothing, I want to say, like sweaters, t-shirts, jeans. It seems like something with the algorithm, if you put like keywords in there, it just doesn't let you have any views. It's so strange how that happens. And again, Facebook Marketplace is all run by an algorithm. So whatever I put maybe in the description is keeping it blocked from having views. But I keep going at it. I mean, sometimes I get frustrated, but then I sell something, Right. I mean, today eBay is very slow for me. I've had 2 sales on eBay and then 1 on Mercari and then 1 on Facebook. So it's how it goes sometimes. Now, how about you, Alton?
Well, I mean, for me, I think in the terms of as we know ourselves as the dig down and resell, right? Like I think eBay will always be king when it comes to the variety of things we can sell. But for me, I honestly am liking two different platforms with Amazon and my collectibles using the Whatnot app. So the reason being is I have less time invested on the Whatnot app. Like when you're talking about time is money, I might spend 1 to 2 hours sourcing during the week, and on Saturday I'll have a sale, an auction. And this might sound crazy, but I'm buying them at $1 or $2 a piece, and I'm averaging about $10 average bid minimum. Some of them go more. And if I have 100 pop auction, I have made a heck of a lot of money in just 2 or 3 hours on a live that I can focus on doing eBay, or I can focus on doing something else. So I think with me, eBay is the third in line when it comes to priority list. And it's just because I sell differently than y'all do. I do a lot more doing all the new stuff on Amazon, and then I separate it. Well, if it's used or something, of course, eBay. But again, that's more hit or miss until y'all finally decide to convert me over to close. Now that might be soon, but right now it's Amazon because I just enjoy that I don't have to compete with everyone based off of a review. I'm competing to a buy box, and if I can stomach the price, then it has a higher chance of selling. So we'll see.
And that's on Amazon, right? Or is that on
that's on
other
Amazon
app that you've been using?
on Amazon. Yeah. So Whatnot, there's no competition but your own. So what I say that is, it's all about how you socially interact and you build your community. So when you go live, right, just like we're live here on YouTube, the Whatnot app allows the notification to go out and people see it and they can join your live, and then there they can bid on the items you got rotating on your screen or however you have it displayed. And I don't know. I feel like I get per minute better value for the collectibles and the amount of space I can rotate anywhere between 75 and 150 pops a week out of this place quickly. And I can let that be the big money maker as far as to me concerned. And if I get 1 or 2 sales on eBay, great. Or if I get 20 sales on Amazon, wonderful. But I mainly focus with books and new products on Amazon and anything used or hard goods on eBay. So it's all about knowing what you're enjoying. I think like y'all do clothes because I mean you can get the volume, get y'all's daily listings. I'm not quite there yet, but I think I have an idea for something that I'm gonna talk about building this new eBay account with my father. So we're gonna be talking about that probably after stream.
All right, and then let's touch on where we think the future lies with all the platforms. And this time I'll have you start, Alton.
I think you might have touched on this already, but I think possibly the two we're going to have to worry about are, of course, Amazon, just because they're the big shark. But I think the competition to Amazon is going to end up being Walmart. So they're going to drive a lot of the sellers like us out. Facebook, though, I think being community driven, they have an opportunity to really step forward. If they put the right tools in place, I think they have a chance to overtake eBay. But it's only if they do it right. Like eBay has been here for so long, they've built that rapport with people that there is at least some standard. Facebook just isn't known yet, but if they can do it right, I think Facebook might have a chance to compete and even possibly deaden eBay. But I think they got to get the community side of it together before they do that, though.
Yeah. Now, how about you, Brian? And I'll finish up and let you guys know how I feel.
Yeah, well, I think each platform has pros and cons. I sell some stuff locally on OfferUp. Mercari, not really worth my time, to be honest. I think it's eBay. Now I almost consider Amazon a whole different beast. I mean, you're selling new items, you're competing. It's a race to the bottom. You can get kicked out easily. Like I know there's potential there, but I don't like the things I've heard and the way they treat sellers there. eBay currently they brought in the ex-CEO of Walmart, and they've the focus is currently on getting repeat customers that will shop with the same seller. They want you to build a store. They've unrolled coupons now on the data. And by the way, I think the advantage eBay has over all the other platforms, and not including Amazon, is the data that they give you that can guide your decisions. You can see your impressions, your page views, your clicks, your conversion rate. You can see what percentage of customers are repeat customers. There's just so much data there. And eBay is really pushing to get those quality repeat buyers. Whereas in the past, they were just trying to get, like maybe a one-time user to the platform, but now they want the quality user. They want the guy that's, they come by from you. Like I get a lot of multi-quantity orders now as my store's gotten bigger. At least every other day, I'm getting a multi-quantity order. And if you do a good job, if you're providing quality items with a good title, good item specifics, good price, and your customer gets it, they're happy, they're likely, or there's a good chance that they're going to come back and shop with you. If you build a niche store, now if you're selling everything, it's you can't really do that. But if you niche down, like what I'm doing, clothing and shoes, or any other niche, like there's people that do media and different things, then somebody can come back to your store. So I think I like the direction eBay is heading. And like I said, there's more people making more money on eBay in the one-off game than any other platform. I do, to a degree, I think Facebook Marketplace has the potential because it's tied to Facebook, and they have so many, there's so many users that they do have that potential if they put the money into it and get their act together, where they could definitely challenge other platforms. The thing I don't like about Facebook, you create a listing and then over time your options are to renew it, but you can only renew it so many times, and eventually it dies, and then you have to delist it and relist it. And that's a big negative for me. Poshmark's probably third place. But Poshmark, you gotta share your closet, and they just don't have the same number of users. I think if you're selling trendy items, like some items do better there than eBay. But like I don't want an item get 100 likes. I want one person to look at it and to buy it. To me, I don't know. So eBay's still king, but Facebook could be, and I don't think it's going to be 5 years. It depends on how Facebook handles it, but they have the potential to be number one.
Yeah. So for me, hold on a second. There we go. For me, I definitely think Facebook has the biggest upside. I mean, they only take, again, I think it's 5% fees, unless you do those ad boosting, which I don't do any of the boost ads. I've never really niched down to figure out exactly how to get those ads to the right people. So I've noticed my impressions will be great, but the views aren't there. So I kind of stopped doing that. But I think if they stop at this stupid algorithm, and with I've been hit so hard many times, at least 4 or 5 times, with the whole getting locked out of my account and then being suspended from selling on Facebook for no reason. And I mean, Marketplace has a dedicated Facebook group for that. And months ago, they went out and said, we will ban you now if you talk about, literally, they said in there, we're going to ban you if you talk about being, whether you have low views or whatever. Maybe it's because it's just too repetitive. But the thing is if it's repetitive, they should take that, not with a grain of salt, they should take that seriously and figure out how to fix it. Because if they ever got this fixed, ever decide to turn around and actually have live customer support, they would definitely have no problem being number one, if not be close to number 2. They have so much upside. There's so many, everybody's on the platform. They have so many more people on the platform than eBay. Plus, I think my average per sales is more with because there's no fees, basically only 5% fee, plus you charge them for the shipping. And one of the great things about shipping on Facebook is that I could ship an item that weighs 40 pounds and it's probably it could be really long and large. On eBay, it would be like 60, $70. I could sell that in as long as the weight's the way it is. If it's 40 pounds, I could send it out for 25 or $30. They don't go off of the size of the package. They go off the weight, which I think is a huge advantage over eBay on their on selling on eBay. And another thing is I'm not a fan of no customer support. I know they're trying to make things better for the consumer, but by making things better is open up shop and actually be able to talk to people, because we all get frustrated at times. eBay, I think, is good at stroking our ego and trying to be there for us and letting us vent. Because I've had my issues with eBay. So I don't know. My feeling is if they can get their stuff together, the future is definitely going to be Facebook. They already own almost everything else. They own Instagram. They own, is it TikTok they own too, or no? They own something else. But when they get a hold of this all, they're gonna run eBay. I think they're gonna run eBay out of business within 10 years. Now I do want to pull up, so we all figured that out. I do want to pull up on e-commerce bites. I'll share my screen. If you don't subscribe to eBay e-commerce bites, then I don't know. You should, because it's for resellers. They've been around forever. And hold on a second. Let me get there. I'm going to pull up now. So they make a good point of, oops, there we go. Let me know if you guys can see it. Can you guys see the screen?
Let me see. I'm having to wait till it pulls up on the thing.
Yeah,
we can see it.
Okay. So it says eBay grows sellers' fees, but not seller sales. Sales on eBay dropped 10% in 3 months, ended in September 30th, year over year. The number of active buyers on eBay declined 5%, which I think is going to be because people are on Facebook Marketplace. They took their business elsewhere. eBay put more in its own pocket in the third quarter, thanks to collecting more fees from sellers. And again, I'm trying to be honest here. I'm trying to see both sides of the situation. Our sales have grown probably because I list 20 a day. Brian, you list what, like 25, 30 a day?
Yeah. But I think you have to look at that a little differently though. Like what I was saying earlier, like eBay used to try to get that, that customer that may shop on eBay one time per year. And so in the past they had more total buyers, but now they're going after quality buyers, a buyer that's going to spend $500 to $1,000. So yes, they may have fewer buyers, but I think they're trying to get the serious buyers that are loyal to eBay. So I think there is some nuance there that we have to keep that in mind too.
No, I totally understand that. But then this is why I pulled this up, because I'm trying to play both sides of the aisle too. So when you go down here and you see this, eBay also said it took more fees from sellers who advertise, growing promoted listings ad revenue by 12% in the quarter. While a simplistic take, that means in the aggregate, eBay sellers paid 12% more in advertising fees for 10% fewer sales on an individual basis.
But fewer.
And here's a good point.
Sales.
It may mean some sellers are advertising more just to maintain sales. And I totally agree with that. I feel like I usually used to do 3.1% in promoted listings. Now I'm having to bump myself up to 7%. That's not by accident. That's because we have other promoted, the preferred, I think it's, preferred promoted listings now, which is you basically get paid per click. So I don't know. That is just me playing devil's advocate. Yes, eBay is great, but I also believe try other places also. I know, Brian, you are dead on eBay. I've been dead on eBay for years, but since I've picked up List Perfectly, let me get this out real quick. Hold on. Yeah, List Perfectly. I'm seeing sales other places that if anything did ever happen, if I ever was suspended from eBay again, like I was for 3 weeks back in June, which crippled my business, and it wasn't even my fault. It was some glitch in the system that, no joke, no one else has been a part of. But
I mean, I do
When
agree that it helps you diversify in that situation. Um, that part I agree with, but I don't know. I just ran the test and it just came back to 80% of, even using List Perfectly and all those platforms, 80% of my sales were still eBay. And the time, because I'm part of Chris and Tech's, Daily Refinements group, and everything's about efficiency. Everything's streamlined, everything's getting shipped out in a poly bag or a box or two. And the whole process is to sell similar off my items, to be able to list faster and to list more items. Because if you think about it, like if you make let's just say you make $10 profit off a bread and butter item. And if you can list that item, pictures, photograph listing in 5 minutes, then you could list 12 per hour. And we know over time, if you list consistently, it's called Reseller Nirvana, you will sell what you list if you have good listings going up. So if you're doing 12 an hour at $10 profit, that's $120 an hour. But so if instead of listing, say 12 per hour, I'm only listing 6 per hour, and then I'm cross-listing all those on different platforms, and I'm taking them down when they sell, and double selling and all the headaches that entails. My hourly production just falls.
That's why do it after. When it set aside a
still,
half
it's
hour.
time that after I could be listing more that after. To me, it just comes down to what gets you the most listings. But I understand your point. It does diversify.
Yeah, and this is why I like this conversation, because we all both feel differently about this. You have your experiences, I have my experiences. So what else? What's the next thing we should touch on? I know I wanted to get to, and we had a group question that I posted.
Yeah, let's
which I'm
cover
do
some group questions.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do that every week. We're gonna put up like maybe 4 questions, and the one that gets the most likes or whatever, we'll run with it, and we'll talk about it. So this week's question was in the group. Share the view. We wanted to see the viewers' best sales of the week, and we had a couple that came in, so we put it down to 2 people. And I know Alton, you said you want to talk about one also. You had a friend.
Yeah, so one of my friends, new to the whole reselling, never sold anything. So I'm having to, the teaching aspect again. I told you I was teaching my father. So teaching is really my side of the house. I enjoy that side. So she actually was a part of the whole Pokemon craze with Oreos. I don't know if y'all just recently seen the Oreo packages that were in the stores, but she bought a few packs and was lucky enough to get one that had, I want to say it was the Mew on the cookie. It was a really rare print that they were going to do. It was just random. There were limited amount of packs made. And some of these cookies are ranging from just one cookie sold on eBay between $700 and anywhere between $1,400 and $1,500. Now she put it at auction starting at $800 with an option for an offer or buy it now. So she put that in for her very first one. She got an offer this morning of $800. Now that was just, hey, being aware of what could be possible. Oh, this is going for this. Well, if you find it, make sure you sell it. So I wanted to make sure everybody knew that you can start with anything. It doesn't have to be clothes. It could be what's trending right now. If you're paying attention to social media, oh, did y'all see this? Oreo also, a while back when the last season of Game of Thrones came out, I don't know if y'all remember those Oreos. Well, you were buying them packs of Oreos for what, $4 or $5 a pack? I was selling them for $27 a pack on eBay all day. And then straight out,
That's
people were buying
insane.
multiple. Yeah. And people were buying them $20 a piece on Facebook, but they were buying 10 or 12 packs of them at a time. It's insane. And I'm like, when I went in and bought quite a few, but they were buying them. It's crazy. So I think our knowledge has to be more than just items. I think like Brian, he's got himself into a platform where he really enjoys niche down, right? But I don't think Brian would be the one to tell you, like, if something like that came across and he come across it, he'd list it. Like, he would be the one to say, yes, I'm still going to list that item. I'm going to take a few minutes and list it because it's worth it. But what he's saying, his value is in his time. So I think to get started, I think this was a great starting point for this person. So that way they have money to invest and really get into the resale game. They've been looking for the reason to get in, and this was for her a way to do it. So, hey, I was so happy to hear that this morning. I was like, hey, I got an $800 offer. Please tell me you took it, right?
Dude,
Please
take it.
please.
Yep. Take
You
it.
know,
Take it and run. And then pray for the feedback.
right.
Don't forget about that. Yeah.
Yes, you got to make sure you get the feedback on it. And
I still haven't gotten feedback on the $800 Kirby vacuum sale, and it's been close to. They've had the item for like 2.5 weeks, so I think I'm good on that end.
right.
But you just never know.
You really
know,
don't. And that's the thing is, the other thing I think eventually one of the topics we'll come cover is, are you packing and shipping your items properly? That was one of the things that I think if you teach early enough, like she asked me, how do I ship this? How do I ship a cookie that's an $800 cookie? And if USPS decides to throw this box, how do I know that this thing's not going to crush it? And it's
insurance.
Yes, well, insurance for one, but also how you take the time to package this thing says a lot. I know people who do a great job at packing mugs, other people who do a poor job, and it's a wonder their item gets there intact. So, I feel like as we have an obligation to make sure we teach you the right way, not just this half whatever we want to call this and just throw it in a box like Amazon does. Now that's another topic for another day. Amazon is the worst at shipping. Their people aren't trained, and that's the problem. But that's another thing. So.
Yeah, I know. So for me, I'm gonna share my screen because I have the 2 pictures of the listings that sold that the viewers shared. So hold on a second. Let me know if you could see it.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
So this is Resale Nation. He sold this about I think it was like 2 weeks ago though, but he's like, man, I wanna share this. I remember when he had this up because I was watching the item the whole time, and I was like, dude, it was at $800. I think the second day that it was listed, and he ended up selling it for $1,500 plus 21 shipping. Pretty sure. Let me get out of here and find out. He bought that for $10. It's insane. Okay, he said the auction ended at $2,000, but buyer did not pay, so he got the offer for $1,500 and took it.
Hey, Kevin,
That's just amazing.
For the podcast, can you explain what it is he sold?
Oh, sorry. It's a RIAA presented to Bruce Springsteen, 3 million sales. For the record, he didn't put the record in there, but it's a platinum album from his greatest hits. And I think he had over like 120 bids or something like this on this. It's a really good sale. He paid $10 and he sold the Bruce Springsteen 3 million sales platinum record. And it has a cassette, the bottom right, and then a CD, the bottom left. And the center is the platinum record for $1,500 plus 21 shipping. And that is from Resale Nation, who is Zachary Pennis, a longtime member of my group.
Did he say where he picked that up for $10 out?
A garage sale.
Man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice find.
Yep.
That was a good
find. He couldn't believe when they said $10. I remember talking about this because I followed the whole auction. I couldn't believe it when it was happening because he posted it in our Thrift and Lounge Facebook group. And then the second one is from somebody who I talk to all the time. If you ever have any questions about running auctions, Andy Spaeth is the guy to ask. He's the best at running auctions. I think 2/3, he said, the inventory he runs auctions. And then the 1/3 is buy it now prices. And this is definitely a bull item. And I've been reselling for almost close to, actually, I think it's been about 20 years now. I've never come in contact with any Tom Ford. So this is very hard to find. Tom Ford is in the 90s. He used to be the head designer at Gucci until he ventured on his own. Very talented designer. How do I know this? Because I'm very heavy on fashion. That's mostly what I sell is fashion clothes on eBay. But Tom Ford, and I believe he said he picked up 3 or 4 of these. He paid $25 and he sold this for $99 plus shipping. And then he has 2 or 3 other ones. I don't know if Andy's in the chat right now. He was here earlier, but it's a Tom Ford large dress shirt, long sleeve button down. It's got the spread collar and it looks like it's purple. I don't know, but he did this at auction. And again, if you have any questions on auctions, on how to run an auction, on what you should do, even keywords, he is a master at keywords for eBay items for clothing. His name's Andy Spaeth, and he's in my Facebook group, the Thrifting Lounge, and you can contact him anytime. He always writes back. And then that is it on that end. How about you, Brian? Do you have any? Did anybody reach out to you?
What did I share last week? Do you remember?
Well, this is for the viewers.
Oh, from the viewers? No, not from the viewers.
Yeah. Let's see. Clay says he sold a poster you would have liked, Kevin, a few weeks ago. A poster from 1987 that was the world according to Ronald Reagan. I got it as a kid and sold it beat up for $130. Wow, that's a lot of money, man. Yeah, especially coming from one of the greatest presidents we've ever had. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, Andy is in the chat. He says he got 5 of them. He sold a polo Tom Ford for 119, and then he sold that one for 99. He still has 3 Tom Fords left. And again, it's something that's I've never come in contact with Tom Ford, and believe me, if I ever did, I would buy it. And it's been 20 years since I've been reselling, so very hard to come by. I mean, all you got to do is check out his solds on eBay. So you type in Tom Ford, or
That's
even
crazy.
you can even type in Gucci, and then also put Tom Ford, because there is people that have found Gucci stuff from the Tom Ford era. So let's say Gucci Tom Ford or Tom Ford Gucci, and then the insane prices that follow. And then now, what are the other subjects we're going to hit tonight?
Well, I think we kind of flew through most of them, but I guess we could probably talk more of, based on those platforms, what varieties do you think work best in each platform? Like, whether it be media, clothes, like you have more of a, eBay has more of a catch-all, right? So what are things that people can get into easily in those categories?
Well, and to follow up on that, guys watching the live video, if y'all want to let us know what you sell. We know Andy obviously selling clothing, and Clay's selling posters.
Yeah, and that's what I want to do. I definitely told Andy I've been in contact with him. I want to get him on here so we can discuss how he runs his auctions, and then how he goes about researching keywords for his items, because he is a keyword genius. Like, any questions about Under Armour, Heat Gear, any questions about polos, stuff like that, ask him, because he is so good at it. And he knows the exact times and dates to run these auctions too, where you're going to get the most action. So I know he was thinking about doing some sort of course or book that he was going to end up doing. I know he did run into some health issues, so I don't know, but I would definitely want him to get on here so we could discuss that with him. And that's also another thing I want to touch on. We're looking to do interviews once a month on the channel for the podcast and for the YouTube live. Andy says, if you want to try next week, that's cool. That's fine with me. Yeah, we could do our first interview with somebody to have him on, because he is a world full of knowledge with keyword and then auctions. And if anything, hey, at least you try it, right? What works for one person may not work for somebody else.
Right.
So anyways, so yeah, but, oh, what'd you say, Alton?
I'm good. I was just agreeing with you. I say I agree. Yes.
Yeah.
It's not one size fits all.
And to touch back on where I think would sell good, I think golf. So I've really been heavy on golf clubs this year, and I think I'm going to start get heavy on a specific niche each year. I think maybe jewelry next year for me, but I'll still be doing everything else I always do. But I've learned so much from golf clubs in a short amount of time, and it's made me thousands and thousands of dollars. I can't say how much thousands of dollars, but it's made me a lot of money. And I do feel that they sell, if you get the right clubs, they sell quick and they sell fast on all platforms. Mercari, and I'm talking about all platforms for me, which is Mercari, eBay, and Facebook.
Yeah, there's a guy in our group and he's on the morning calls with Chris and us, and that's his niche. That's all he does is golf clubs. Yeah. And he's got the sourcing angle down, because that's the thing. If you niche down to one thing, if that's all your time and energy is spent on that, then you're going to figure out sourcing. You're going to figure all these things out. And part of his sourcing is like he goes to every country club, and he's also in Florida, so you'll have tons of them. And he talks to the owners, the managers, and he's working deals where he's getting used clubs, the new clubs when they go out of season, and he's building a business just on that one niche. So, whereas I think if you try to, like, you can accumulate a lot of knowledge and there is power there, but you can't, you can't become a master just by doing everything. I think you can make a good living, don't get me wrong, but I guess it depends on, like, and maybe that we need to talk about that one week. Like, what is your vision? What is your goals? Because if you don't have a vision in mind, and if you don't have a clear-cut goal, if you're just kind of reselling as you feel, or what you come across, then I don't know if that's going to lead you in the same way. Whereas if you say, hey, I want to sell X amount, I'm going to do this niche, and I'm going to figure out the sourcing, I'm going to get the supplies down, I'm going to get the shipping down, I'm going to know when I need to hire what amount of people. Like, you can really just take it to another level. So I don't know, but back to your point, yeah, golf clubs can be great. If and where you're at, Kevin, I mean, I don't know. What would you do if you found out that there's a certain niche that the ROI is really high on, and you had a lot of supply? Would you niche down, or would you just keep going with a little bit of everything?
Man, that's I've been fighting with this the last week or so. We talk about this all the time. Like, oh, I want to niche down one day, and I'm like, oh, we sell assortment of things. I don't want to niche down. I just think I get ADD, so me doing everything and learning everything and doing it for so long, I just think it's just, I see something, I'm like, if I can make 30, 40 bucks. So like, me and my girlfriend came to the agreement. If it's an item we can't make, unless it's clothing, if it's an item we can't make 40 bucks on, say it's like an antique or non-clothing, non-golf item that we can't make 40 bucks on, then we're not going to touch it. So we're basically trying to niche down. And she's great at pulling me one way, because you guys know me, I'm everywhere. Like, my mind goes one place and it goes everywhere else. But I want to niche down to see what the algorithm, because I see how good it favors your stuff with your Levi's and stuff and the jeans. But then it's like, man, what if I pass it? It's something I've been seriously fighting for a while now, like niching down or not niching down. Because we have the rule as resellers when we start, learn 3 niches and then resell, learn them in and out and then buy it stuff. And that's great and all, but me, it's like, I learned from, I want to say, like, it's like a painting, right? We have masters, and I don't know if we've touched on this before. I forget who I've talked about this before. So I look at masters like Ronnie Hart, Chad Pagel, the Gilmans. Oh man, Matt Holland Hobbies in here. He knows everybody I'm talking about right now. So you have those masters, right? Steve Rakin. They each have their niche, but they're masters. So they do everything else also, but they have their main niche. And then I've learned with them, or we came up the same way. And so I look at myself also as a master. I know everything about everything almost. I can go to an antique booth, antique store. I know stuff about glass. I know, golf clubs, antiques, whatever it is. I can go in the store and you give me an hour and I'll try to look through almost every section. I have to look through every section when I go into the store. That's just me. And I think that's what makes, in my mind, makes somebody a master and a complete reseller. It's okay. And I'm not saying anything bad about you, Brian. You're a master in your niche. Me, I'm more of like different niches, a master in, because I've done it for so long and it's all the way. I mean, I hustled. So to be here, the way I hustle was learn everything, learn as much as you can, go out and find the stuff and sell it. It's just how we grew up back in the day doing this.
And I'm not saying it's necessarily wrong. I'm just playing devil's advocate. But I guess you got to, that's why I said the vision, like you got to define the game. We talked about that in the book we just finished, E-Myth Revisited, like the game. And who is playing that? Like you mentioned, a lot of people. Well, how much are they grossing per month? How much are they netting per month? And if you look at the people who gross and net the most, they're niched down.
I don't. I
So
mean,
if
you
your
look at Ronnie
goal is
Hart.
to make the most money, I think you got to niche
This is
down.
where we differ. You're niching down, and this is no argument. This is us just talking. You know.
No, yeah, it's just a debate. I'm not getting
When
that.
when we niche down, so you're looking at like Tekken and Chris. Chris is totally different. I would just say Tekken, right? He's more niche down, vintage goods, shoes, stuff like that. Chris is the abundance of like quick flip, make $10, quick flip, make $10. A lot of people don't have the space. A lot of people don't have the time. A lot of people can't just do that. So they average it out. So like if I can't make $40 on an item, then I'm not going to touch it. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually a really good when you start. I'm at the place now where Chris is like $15-20, whatever, flip it, because I have so much. I have $2,500 in $2,500 inventory. But with what I want to say, one of my, and I'll always shout him out all the time, Ronnie Hart, the dude makes like $90 on average on a sale, and he sells everything. He knows everything.
But
It's
how
something
many
that
sales
you
per
just
day is he making?
he's
I
making
don't
more
think it
than I am.
matters that
He's killing it, dude. He's always been doing this though. That's the thing with people like that. With where I've come from, and it's the same people Chris learned from. Chris learned from all of us,
Yeah,
and I'll
but
tell you the same thing when we started.
He's told me he's left all that behind. That the only the person that does it best is Tech, and he's a convert. And now Chris's numbers are better than they've ever been. So I mean, I'm not saying that any of those guys are doing anything wrong. Like I said, Chris wants to make as much money as he can. Tech and Sports wants to make as much money as he can. I want to make as much money as I can. So that's why I'm niche down. I'm not even saying clothing. You could niche down into media. I mean, anything. And I think, and this might be good to talk about on a different show, like knowing your geographic area and what you have available in abundance should influence what you niche down to. Like each region, each area has different, like where I'm at, we have year-round garage sales. We have tons of thrift stores. We have estate sales. We have flea markets. You could drive, 3 or 4 hours to the port, and then they have rag houses there. So, there's a lot. The truth is, there's more clothing in my region than I could even handle or ever max out on. So
Same here, Florida, and I'm sure same thing with you, Alton. You're in North Carolina, man. Like we're in 3 big states where you can basically do this. And I watched Taco Stacks today, and I haven't watched his videos in a while. And he went to an auction. He says last auction for the year until they shut it down because he lives in Pennsylvania. And I'm saying to myself, oh, that's right. We're all year round, so we're really one up on everybody else living down here in the Southwest and the Southeast. We really take advantage of that too in the winter. And that's why I've noticed we have a really good fourth quarter. All of us do, because of we're able to go to auctions. We're able to go to estate sales. We're able to go to yard sales all year round. And then, and I was also thinking too, same thing if you did YouTube, like if you're doing, YouTube garage sales, they can't do that in the winter up north. They can't do any of that stuff. So I got to think, I was like, man, that's one thing we do have up on them. And again, these YouTubers have to put out videos. So you're going to see a lot of videos now that's non-garage sales. It's a lot of talking. With us, we can go, hey, every weekend we can go out for a yard sale or even go to community yard sale. So
well, I think
that's
for
a great
me, I'm
point,
the only
Brian.
one in this group out of all of you that does not have access to a 24/7, 365. Anytime you want to make a sale as far as yard sales goes, I can't do that. I think here it does get stuck about what? I can go into the end of November before it gets way too cold. But out here, it's just, I don't know if it's just more mentality or what, but they don't start coming back until April, where a lot of people I hear is, late February into March, yard sales coming back. It's a lot later, but it ends about a month or so later than up north. So we just extend it. It's just shifted per se. And that does mess with my fourth quarter, because if you're looking for sales and things to sell like that, you got to be preparing as soon as it opens, and just know that, hey, I might hold on to this till September or October, but it's going to sell. It's just, you got to be willing to put a little bit more money out, knowing that you're time frame is shifted and you don't have access to it, 365 days a year.
Yeah, Brian, you really touched on a good point, though. That was great that you brought it up about all year round. Huge advantage over the rest of the country that's especially the Northeast. It's kind of like when we're all locked down, remember? And like we started opening it up. So we were able to go out first with the yard sales and estate sales. And man, the inventory was such an abundance. But what I'm noticing now that we're back to normal again, their thrift stores after we had the lockdowns, and this is maybe a subject we can touch on right now, they've raised them heavily around here. The Goodwills are pricing per piece almost, and it's weird. So Holland Hobbies, Matt in the chat, you remember this back in the day when Goodwill raised their prices on sport jackets and suits to 15 a sport jacket, 30 a suit. Well, quickly nobody was buying them. So what did they do? Now they're back to $7 a suit or $10 a suit, $6 a sport jacket. So you see that they try to make a big raise, and then they're like, "Whoa, wait, this isn't working for us. We got to bring it back down. We have all this inventory." So I wonder what that's going to do, because it just seems Goodwill just keeps raising and raising their prices. There's got to be a price point where us resellers say, "Hey, listen, you guys are on your own now. You guys want to outprice us? We're going to back off. We'll go to local mom and pops." Like I love the local mom and pop thrift stores. I always find gold in there, and they're always fine with what they sell. They may not make much profit, but they're happy with what they're selling. And I like supporting the real the real nonprofits. The mom and pop places, the SPCAs, the animal rescue places. Those are real charities. Whereas
Right.
Goodwill, they hide behind their charity and they pay their CEOs for that region, each region, up to $350,000+ a year, which I think is bogus. But I don't know. What was the next subject to touch on?
Well, one last thing before y'all move to that is I think right now, if you're looking at it, not only is it items that we're looking for thrifting that are more expensive like that, but everything is on the rise. And I think they're taking advantage of that too. So like, as they're seeing everything else get more expensive, they're going to increase their prices no matter what, because they're going to try to make as much. They're capitalized on the moment. I mean, in a way, isn't that what we do? I mean, I get.
Kevin,
So
you're
I don't know.
muted.
Yeah, he's muted.
I'm over here having a full-blown conversation, thinking you guys could hear me. Of course I'm muted. I was saying is one thing that Goodwill's doing is they raise their prices. But one thing you don't see is on eBay, we can't raise our prices. Our prices either stay the same or we're getting undercut. And then they raise the prices on the shipping. So that's another issue that we have to take in effect.
Which is why I think you have to grow your store and niche down so you could, because the bigger the store, you just have a lot of advantage over smaller stores.
I like the smaller stores a lot. Again, cost per good. So whenever I enter what we have, what bin we have, and when we bring it home, we put the receipt and then we average out exactly each sale. I'm just seeing like those big stores like Goodwill's are like $3-4 per item, whereas we go to our local one, or we go ticket hunting. So like the ones that are on sale, we'll go through the store and we'll just buy whatever colors are on sale and just do it that way. And then next week we'll wait for whatever we missed out on. We'll wait for next week until that one goes on sale. That's a good way to do it too. And really try to get ahead.
Good deal. All right.
Yeah, so we're at 54
covered quite
minutes
a bit
in.
tonight. Quite a bit tonight, man.
Yeah, we didn't have Scott here to kind of slow it down a little bit for us and make it last longer each subject. But one thing I do want to do, man, Alton has done an amazing job putting this cut and break it. What we're doing is with the YouTube video. Afterwards, he downloads, he rips off the audio, and then he edits it. So if you go and you listen to the podcast, there'll be a lot less no one talking.
Oh
and
yeah.
it's more, I feel action packed. I feel like the podcast is great. We're on a 3rd episode now on there. We have 2 up, right?
Yeah, we have 2 up currently. So until the process gets a little more repetitive and easier for me, the current goal is to make sure that like tonight we can say, hey, last week's podcast is now on Spotify and every major one. So by Wednesday, but now as I get faster, you may start seeing them come up on Monday. And Monday is the ultimate goal. But right now, as it stands, until we can get that groove going, we're going to make sure Wednesday is the deadline. So we can at least tell y'all, hey, if you missed last week, you can check out and listen to the condensed version without all the chatting back and forth to the chat and things like that. So
And then where can they, what podcast places can they find us on?
currently right now we're on what was it, Google Podcast, was it, but mainly right now we're on Spotify. I'm waiting for the approval to get onto iTunes, and was it Outcast, what's it called, what's the other one,
Castbox.
Castbox, and a few others like that. So we're waiting for those approvals. But we are on Reseller Roundtable on Spotify, so just look that up, the Reseller Roundtable, and yeah, that's where you can hear it from right there.
That's great.
Oh,
And then
share a plug real quick,
sure,
Kevin? Because I just got this from Chris, aka Daily Refinement. Like I was saying, I host a book club within Tech's paid group, and we read business books, entrepreneurial books that will help us become better resellers. Is kind of the gist of it. And we've read 3. I mentioned them earlier in the show / podcast. I asked, because we've been talking about YouTube, and I really haven't done anything with my YouTube channel in a year. And, to be honest, there's not much there, but I did ask Chris and Tech today, because we record those episodes. I asked him if he didn't mind if I uploaded those to my YouTube channel. He said for sure, and that he would even help me. Like Chris said, he'd be willing to help me grow my YouTube channel. So that's pretty cool. So if you're like Val, I don't know if you're still out there, anyone else that likes to into self-development, especially related to becoming a better reseller / business person, stay tuned. Check out my channel, Dr. Denham, if you haven't subscribed, and we'll get some book content out there for you.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, definitely. And then we're also planning on trying to get a blog up. I definitely want to. I've been dying to get a blog going for years now, so I can write like best brands to look for, just little stupid things like that I enjoy doing, that I'd like to put down on paper and just put up on the blog and kind of grow from there. And I think I know Alton's going to help me do that too, and kind of take care of that. So
yeah, it's going to take a little bit of back and forth, but yeah, we'll hash that out, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. So I want to thank everybody tonight for coming in, and see you guys next Thursday at
Make sure you smash the like button too.
Yeah.
Yes, and like or dislike, whatever.
Whose channel are we going to be on next week?
Is it yours, Alton? I don't think we've done yours, have we?
We have not done mine yet, so I guess it will be next week on mine.
No. And so, I'm gonna see about getting Andy on. I know he says he wants to come on next week, so we can do our first interview with somebody that is very sound in auctions and keywording on eBay.
Right.
Other than that, thank you guys for coming and watching, and stay tuned. Thank you.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.